Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. So our class for sorry, hold on a bit. Creating high fidelity designs. Sorry, can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. So our topic for today is creating high fidelity designs. Sorry, just hold on a bit. Okay. So we need to, let's start with understanding what a high fidelity design is. So high fidelity designs are very detailed. They are polished visual representations of the final product, often interactive and pixel perfect. Compare high fidelity and low fidelity designs. So low fidelity designs are like let me use like very simple terms. Wireframes where you're more concerned with what the placement is going to be like in terms of imagery, in terms of text, in terms of buttons, where this icon will be. So all of those things you're going to
Your line is breaking.
and before you can come up with placements, wireframes, that means we've done like an extensive research on how users better interact with hey, me. Hello? Hello? Hello, is anyone there?
I can hear you, but it was breaking.
Can you guys hear me?
Hello? Hello?
Okay, so okay, I'll go over it again. So I was talking about hello. 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 Can you guys hear me now? Is it better? Okay. So our topic for today is high fidelity designs. So high fidelity designs are detailed, polished visual representations of the final product, often interactive and pixel perfect. So it's important for us to compare what the difference between low fidelity and high fidelity designs. So now, low fidelity design, we already have the understanding that low fidelity designs are like wireframes. They're very basic and often hand-drawn sketches. The idea is so that you can have an understanding of where certain things will be placed in terms of imagery, in terms of buttons, in terms of text. So in essence, it's more like you're trying to define the structure of the app you're trying to design or create rather. So wireframes are more they're more focused on functionality rather than aesthetics. So this is where high fidelity design is. Like I said, high fidelity design are like they're more structured, defined, and polished. So high fidelity design, we're focused on colors, we're focused on typography, we're focused on spacing and UI components. So that's on what high fidelity designs are and the comparison with low fidelity designs. So now, when do you have to when to create high fidelity designs? So high fidelity designs are created when your user research has been done, and then when your flows and user journey is validated, and third, your wireframes have been tested. So we're going to go back to the top. So user research, I'm pretty sure we have a basic understanding of what user research is. User research is for you to have like a basic understanding of your users, what it is that they would need in the product you're trying to create, and how they can better interface with it and also solve their problems. So the next one, like I said, is flows and user journey. So after you've carried out your user research, is important for you to, there's a word for it, conceptualize all of those research that you have carried out into ideas that you think will better represent the problems that they've clearly stated during your user research. So you create them into flows, site maps, and information architectures so that you can have like a better understanding of what it is that you're working with. Then the third one is going to be wireframes. Like I said, wireframes are more concerned with the functionality and the placement of certain components within the mobile app frame or the web app frame, or necessarily maybe just a sketch. And that's pretty much it. That's when you can create a high fidelity design. Then the third one is what are the key elements in high fidelity design? So one thing that as a beginner in design, it's very important for you to always work with a style guide. We're going to get to that shortly as we progress further into the what do you call this thing? Into the class. So visual type, colors, typography, imagery, then layouts, spacing, alignment, and grids. So let me go back to the top. So colors. So the thing is, you can't just use anyhow color for the sake of it, or because you think that this color looks good. So you're going to use it to represent the idea that this brand is about. Let's say I want to design a dating app. I obviously can use black as like the theme or the primary color for the dating app. It's not possible. So I'm going to look for colors that is going to convey the emotion that we want this user to feel. So when designing a dating app, it's important to factor those things. So I'm most likely going to use colors like red and pink because those are colors of love and they are very gentle to touch as well. And then we have typography. You can't just use, okay, typography now, you can't use a type font, like I said, because it looks good. So let's use a fintech product, for example. For a fintech product or a fintech brand, there are certain things you have to factor in. You can't use a playful font for a fintech app. It's not possible for you to do that because you want your users to feel secure and safe when they are interfacing with the app. This has to do with security. So you have to look for a type font that is very formal and direct. Those are the kind of fonts you're going to consider when choosing a type font or when it comes to typography in fintech products or whatever brand that it is that you want to. So you have to factor all these things inside. In terms of imagery, typography, and colors, they're all tied together. They're not independent. So as your image is placed within your frame, ensure that the follow-up text does justice by explaining what is within that frame. And also, like I said, it's all about conveying a certain kind of emotion to the users. Then let's talk about what's the next one? Spacing, and alignment. So what is spacing and alignment? We're going to start with so why is spacing needed? Why it matters? So space between elements should feel very even and predictable. And all for the sake of what? All for the sake of hierarchy. That's the whole point why you have to be very intentional when choosing the space to work with. So we can make use of there's the you can use the 8-point system or the 4-point system. So the essence is for you to make room within the design that you're working on. We don't want crowd. So we're going to talk about it as we progress further into the class. So the next one here is buttons, inputs, and cards. So components are needed so that you can reuse them within the design. Interactions, hover states, clickbacks, transitions, all of those things is if you want to prototype, but that's not like the major bone of contention right now for this class. So consistency. So we have style guide and design systems. So style guides is needed so that like it's needed for the sake of consistency, yes. While design systems are useful, like
Hello.
hello? Hello? From where did you stop hearing me, Yetunde?
I think it was when you were talking about the style guides, and that was when like the whole thing just broke up. Yeah.
Hello. Sorry, where did you guys miss? Where did you stop hearing me? Hello, can someone just signify so I could just
backtrack to it. When you were talking about style guide.
Style guide. Oh, wow. Interesting. Let me see. Okay, that's fine. So style guides and design system are needed for consistency. But there is a point where you would need to so you can't just use design systems are used for big projects, projects that are maybe require 20 to 10 designers. While style guides are needed just to maintain the brand's identity. It's usually used for small projects. So that's about style guides and design system. So what is the process of creating high fidelity designs? So I talked about wireframe. So you have to start from approved wireframes. Then secondly, you need to apply a visual style guide, which we are going to create. Then the third one is to build reusable components. The fourth one is to focus on spacing and alignment. And the fifth one is to add micro interactions, which is optional for prototyping. Then we have the sixth one, which is to test with users or stakeholders. Then the seventh one is to refine based on feedback. So there is a need, if there is need for design iteration, you go back to it and then you fix whatever problem might have been raised during your testing. So thank you, that's that. So now we're going to go into the main action, the main theme. So this is the design that we're going to be replicating. So like I said, you can't just start designing without having a style guide. Because as beginners, it's important to ensure that our design is very, very neat to the eye. Yeah, basically that's it. So these are the colors we're going to work. I talked about colors. So now the design that we're going to be replicating is, it has this agricultural theme to it. So obviously we're going to go with green, as it signifies anything that has to do with agriculture or plants, whatever it is, whatever the case may be. And then our secondary color is going to be light pastel green. We have the accent color, which is bright orange. We have the text color, which is black or dark gray. And we'll have the button, which is black. So how did I get these colors? I made use of, let me bring the design in here. In case you'd like to replicate a design and you want to get the colors out of it. So I made use of a picker. So with the picker, I was able to get the primary colors, the accent colors, the color of the text and all that. So this is the picker. You type I on your keyboard. But before you do that, let's make so we're going to pick this color from on here onto this, and voila, that's your primary color. Then the accent color, obviously, which is the pastel green. Let's duplicate this guy. And same, we pick the color from on here. Then we have the accent color, which is bright orange. And we proceed to pick the color from here. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. Then for every design you do, ensure that you have a primary color that you're working with, you have a secondary color that you're working with, and you have an accent color that you're working with. Always define these things for the sake of consistency. So now, this is what we're going to do, because like I said, we're going to create a style guide. So this is the first step to creating your style guide. We've already defined our primary color, our secondary color, and the rest. So now I'm going to right click and click on, this is what I'm going to do, sorry. Sorry, no. You click on the circle and here, style, and let's name it primary color. We do the same thing for this guy here. Our secondary color. Same thing here. We have our accent color. Here we're going to name this the text color. And then this is going to be our button color. Our primary button color actually. So now we have created a style for the colors that we will be working with. And if you want to add a bit of, I don't know how they say pizzazz or pizzazz to it, I don't know. You could just add the hex color code to it. So when the developer comes, it's going to be much easier for him. So now, on to typography. So we're going to play it safe. And we're using Inter, which is like the custom font for every Figma, what they call it. So we're making use of Inter. And so the thing is, because it's just a small design we're doing, there is the need to have your body text and your header text. So like I said, it's a small design. I'm just going to teach you how to create a type font style within Figma. So this is what we're going to do. Sorry, hold on. So you click on this icon here, and then this plus icon here. And then we're going to type header 1. Right here. Do the same thing. Header 2. Same thing here. Header 3. So now I'm going to name these guys here body text. The main thing is just know how to create it. You can do all of those structuring or formalities later as you guys learn or progress further. Body text 1, body text 2. So we have created our textiles. And so now we have the font size written here. We have the line height written here. But then, like I said, we're not doing advanced. So this would have to go. So let's just work with the basics, font size. And now we have buttons. Here's our buttons here. So now from the design where we want to replicate, this is the structure of the button. So now how do we create a button? Let's do that. So let me create an extra frame here. Right, okay. So remember, we already created our color. So we're going to use it here. Button color. Let me spell this correctly. And now we're going to click Shift A on your keyboard so we can make use of auto layout. So now we're going to work with a padding to the left and to the right. And we have a vertical and horizontal padding as 16 pixels and 10 pixels. So why do we need padding? Padding is essential so that your design, the content within your button can be defined. So our text now is going to be in between. Our alignment here is going to be in between. So if I align it to the left, it depends on what you're trying to achieve. It's going to like reflect here. align it to the right to reflect here, bottom reflect here. So I'm coming in, give it a bit of space. So alignment to the left goes to the left, alignment to the right goes to the right. So the thing is the padding, which is here, you can see that the text is not in any way overflowing. That means the text is contained within the button. So now we're going to, let me Control Z it. So now we're going to add color to our then we change it. So now we've created our button. So now this button now is going to be our primary button. And then we're going to create our secondary button right about now. I'm going to duplicate this, and the only thing I'm going to do is change the color. We have secondary here. We have this here. So we're going to create our disabled and our hover states. It's still the same process as I have shown you guys now. Just now, sorry, hold on. Just going to bring it over here. I cannot overemphasize the importance of style guide because it creates consistency, clarity, and professionalism in your design, both internally and externally. So that is why you need to always create a style guide before you start working on your design. And shows that you also factor or that you also consider other team members. It's going to make it easier for developers as well to better understand what it is you're trying to communicate in design, the components, whatever it is that you factored in when creating the design, to be much easier for them. So that's that with creating buttons. So now we're going to make this a component. So how do we create components? Here to the top right-hand side of your, if this is the component, is now. So one thing that you should not overlook is naming. Always name your frames, your cards, it could be anything, just name it so that it doesn't have all this frame, what do you call this thing? All this frame text that you're seeing there, like like I said, I'm naming this one the primary button here. And then I'm naming this one second. Let me make it a component. I'm naming it. So like I said, naming is important for the sake of structure, consistency, and also shows that your design is very organized. So you having to name components, design systems, your layers, your files, makes it easier for you as a designer to even navigate through your design, and to make it easier for you to quickly edit whatever it is that you want to edit on your design. So your assets tab. This one's now going to the assets tab. Send to secondary color. And then we're going to make this a component. So now we have components, we have variants. So I'm coming, this is like the default. Okay, disabled, sorry. Disabled. disabled. Um, disabled state. So now, like I said, this one now they're just components. So we're going to create a variant so that we can have different types of states. It's a function on its own. So what are variants? So variants are properties. They are properties of they're like a type of component property. Do you get a specific type of component property? So they are tied to the master component. So now you can add as many properties and values to your variants. It's all dependent on you, what it is you're trying to achieve. So this is this is our variant. Can you see this icon here? This is what the master component is going to look like. So we're going to create a variant out of this guy here. Sorry, hold on. And here, this is our variant. And so now let me change the color of the master component. So it automatically reflects in the variant. This entire process, I don't know, this, like I said, makes your work easier and really easier. So now let's extend this and create. Hey, can you still see my name? Hello?
So yeah, I showed you guys the difference between master component and variant. So now we're going to this is here going to be overstate. So now this is the disabled state. This is the default state. Overstate. Disabled. Overstate. So that starts with creating component, button component. The next one is we're going to be making use of cards within our design. So these are the images we'll be working with. This image here is going to be for our hero section, and this one is going to be what will be placed within the cards that will be displayed on the hero section. So now, so within this card bar, I want to be able to change the images without having to go through the usual method. That is why I said components are needed. So I could just come to this place, the top right-hand corner of my sidebar, and swap the image. This is where swap instance comes in. So I want to change the image to this, and then it changes. Same thing with my text. I don't want to do the manual thing, but I think that's like too advanced. So let me just, you could just come in here and change the text 0.89999. So that's that. So I'm going to show you how to create a card where all you could just like swap the images or whatever it is you'd want to swap, whatever it is you'd want to swap within the card. Let me duplicate this. All of this now automatically variants just because I duplicate them. So I'm going, or automatically instances. So I'm going to detach all of the instances here and do the same thing here as well. So I'm going to start by creating a little frame, small frame here. I'm going to be working with auto layout. My padding, let's work with 16. Vertical horizontal part is going to be 16. Let's add color to it. Secondary color. Then let's carry our button. It's already a component here. Let's use this guy here. Primary button. So now our image, now we're going to make it a component. So the thing is, we're going to name, like I said, naming is very important in design for the sake of organization, structure, and professionalism. So we're going to name this image, already named image one. Remove it from their frames. We have this one. Image two, we have this one. Image three. Then we have image four. So now this is going to be for our hero section. Right here we have our first image. Image two and image three right here. So we're going to make all of them components. I'm going to create multiple components. So I'm going to copy and paste this within this pretty frame here, pretty card frame here. No, like this image. I'm not liking this. So we're going to add our title, attach instance. And also auto layout bar makes everything so easy. So you can see how I'm putting my images, my text, and all that. So the thing is with auto layout, it allows the designs you're creating to automatically adjust as you make changes. So it saves you time and having to worry about the responsiveness and the adaptability of the frame that you're working with. And I told you already working with, I added a horizontal and vertical padding so that the our content is properly contained. But we're not informed it's the okay, sorry about that. Orok. So now we have our text. So this is going to be our title one right here. So we're going to work with let's see, this guy here is going to be we're going to work with our text styles. So increase the opacity a little. And then right here, bring this one, our subtext rather. Let's just leave it as name. That'll be the name. So now, we're going to make this. Let me adjust the button a little. Oh, okay. So I centered it instead of the left alignment. So I'm going to center it. Yeah. So now we're going to create the swap instance that I talked about, making it easy for you to make changes within your design. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay, that's fine.
Yes,
So I'm
I
going
can
to
hear
make,
you now.
okay, so I'm going to make a component, make this card a component, our card component. Oops, and I forgot to name this. Let me name this card. So you can see how our layers is structured just because we named them. So I'm going to create an instance swap property right here. So it's already named image. So we have our images listed here. So it's important they have the same naming convention. So I'm going to created our swap property, our swap instance, sorry. And now I could just select the image and change it to this guy here. So now just hold on. So this is what we're going to be placing within our hero section. We already have our reusable card right here has been created. Now we're moving to our grid system. So the thing is, you can also create a grid style within Figma. So we're working with a 12-column grid, and our margin, you can use a margin of 80 to 100 pixels, and you could use your gutter 24 pixels as well. So this is how you create it. So your column here in 12. Our margin could be 100 or 80, depends on what you want, or what's best for the interface. And now you create your grid style. So this is our desktop grid. That's pretty much that. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. So I created our text styles. We created the text styles, we created the color styles, and all the things that we'll be using within the hero section that we would want to replicate. Now our design is going to be much easier. It's not like a guesswork, like, oh, we've already defined all of these things that we'll be using. So let's go to the high fidelity design here. So this is what we'll be replicating. So now this is relating to plants, agriculture, whatever it is. The color here is green, looking beautiful. So let's create our frame. Click F on your keyboard and then click desktop. We're working with this frame. So now we can add our already created, sorry, just hold on. We can add our already created desktop. Okay, why is it not showing here? Desktop. Yeah, so the style, I don't think I created it. Yes. So we're going to be using that here. Look at it right here. So that's it. Aha, I just knew something was missing. We didn't create our navigation component. So we're going to do that shortly, like quickly right now. So this is going to be our nav. I don't like the fact there is no, let me go back to our style guide. Let's do it there. So we're going to have our master component as our nav, so that you can use it across the design anytime you choose to. So now this is our frame right here. Are we using this one? No. Components. So we have our frame here, our top nav. Our height is going to be, let's work with 80. What's our desktop size? I think 1440. Yeah. So this is where your, sorry, I forgot to mention, this is where your styles will be displayed. We have our grid styles, color styles, and our text styles. Interesting. Okay, so now we have the nav here. We're working with two colors. We have like the white background and we have the secondary color. So I think what we're going to do is pretty simple. We're going to have a rectangle within the frame. How long is this frame? Okay. If we didn't create a style guide now, we'll just say we should just pick the color from the design, which is very unprofessional. So we already have this guy here that we're working with. And yeah, let's see here so that we can see our nav properly. So what do they, okay. We don't have a logo, so I think we'll have to create our own logo. I can see Indo here. Or maybe replicate something close to it. Okay, let's try our best. I'm going to use the textile, right? This guy here. Okay. And they have something like a circle. Okay. So we're going to, if you want to get a line on Figma, just type L on your keyboard, press L on your keyboard, and then line comes up. right here. We have a little guy here, smaller line, I think. Right here. Let's add, I'm sure it has rounded corners. So our endpoint is going to be round. And we'll change the color. Let's work with, this is bad, but anyways. Next color is this. So we have our logo, Indo. So let's group the entire thing. We group it and call it logo. That's that. What's the spray here? So we have shop, we have plant care, we have about us. I'm kind of digging this fonts they use. I think we should change, but anyway, let's just. I think Inter is kind of boring. So if you want to change the font, this is what you do. Just come here. You edit it. I think it's do the same thing. So now the entire font that we use across the system, even within the button, is going to change. Let me just last one, I think. Yeah, so back to our now. We have shop, we have plant care. Why is it not responding? So I'm creating a different what do you call, okay, this is body type 2, semi. Okay. I'm working with auto layout because I don't want to worry about the spacing when I duplicate the text. Plant care about us. Plant care. We have blog. We have about us. So now we have this little search icon there. So we're going to create one. We'll type in search. We're going to make use of a plugin called Iconify, but Iconify is sold 2001. So they are like very recent fonts that you can use. We have solar icons and to name but a few. So we're going to be working with Iconify because it's a plugin that is much easier for us to use right now. Let's look for search. So let me come here so you guys can see what it is that I'm doing. Okay. I'm going to make use of auto layout again. We copy and paste the icon right here. And we increase the size. We want it to be aligned to the left. Let's see what the color is. Search plant. Okay. You need another icon. So we're going to reduce the opacity of these guys and look for the cancel icon here. We're going to import it within the frame. We're going to increase the spacing right here. Today we're taking it to the extreme end. Okay, it's white. So we're going to fill the background color with white. Apparently, we don't have white in our color style, so we're going to create one now. Just write white color. White. Then we're going to add our corner radius. It's going to be 4. I think it's nice. Let's increase it a bit. So we have this, what icon is that? That is like the shop icon, I think. Yeah, let's add that. We need another icon right here. We're going to create a little circle here. Right about the same size as the search input field frame. Go to our best friend iconify. If you're looking for plugins for icon, just go to Figma community and type icons. And from there, you can copy and paste icons into the design file that you're working on. My go-to icon is Julie Solar Icons. Import as frame. Right here. I'm going to add color to our circle, which is obviously the same thing as the input field. So we don't know what that icon is, so we're going to be skipping that guy. So that's that for our frame, our top nav frame. So we're going to name it nav navigation bar. And we're going to create a component. Let's see. Okay. So that's that. So now let's go back to our high fidelity design. So now if you want to access the components that you've created, just go to the assets page here. So 15 components have been created in this file, all in reference to the style guide that was created earlier. So let's go back to the file. You could search for whatever components that you have created. That's why, like I said, it's very important for you to name them. So this is our hero section. Let's go to our assets panel. Top now. Navigation bar. So all you need to do is just click and drag, and it comes on your file. This purple stroke that you're seeing shows that, okay, this is a component. I don't want the grid to display, so it's kind of distracting. Turn off the grid. So where is our design? So we're going to get our where is our hero image? Is that a component? Let me check. But there's no need to create that as a component anyways. Yes. But it's not looking clear. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to use a plugin Unsplash. Unsplash is where you can get images, whatever kind of image that you're looking for. And there are also other places, other websites or links that you could outsource for images. We have free pick to name but a few. So I'm going to slow down. We're going to type plants. Yeah, this is our plan. So we have that and so we need to create this. Rectangle here. You can see that this image here, does it have, no, I don't think it has a stroke. Yeah, I don't think we have this color. So we're going to make use of a color picker to get the color from the design. So now we have a text here that says indoor plant. Okay. I don't think it's big enough. So to work with Mario 28, it's 6 is okay. Now we have this circle here. This we're going to not circle. This O here, we're going to use a circle so we can achieve that look. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to type O on our keyboard. $87. I'm going to duplicate this. Rotation is
Hello.
going to be
We can't see you. Hello.
Hello, ma.
hello? Can you see my screen?
No, ma.
Oh, okay. Let me share it again. So we're trying to replicate this. Oh, do not bore yourself with all of this detailing. If you look for like a simple website that you could easily replicate. Sorry? How did I divide the, oh, okay. I think the network tripped that point. Just hang on a bit. So like I said, but do not bore yourself with all of this detailing. Like look for a simple website, all of these extras. Look for a simple website and replicate it. So to answer your question, what I did was click the letter O on your keyboard and a circle, you have an ellipse. And what you're going to do is that's pretty much everything. Once you have the ellipse in half, you've done this, it's exactly 90 degrees, you duplicate it, you've duplicated the ellipse. So now our rotation is going to be minus, because this one is currently on 0 degrees. So this is going to be minus 80. And then it flips to the left-hand side. So now it's going to be much easier for me to like change the color to whatever I want. So this one, and this one is going to be blue. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Please, what's the name of the website?
Sorry?
What's the name of the website?
What website? Okay, to get designs for you to replicate, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the thing is you can Dribble. We have Dribble, we have Outdoors. No, we have Dribble, we have Awards, we have Behance. So these are go-to websites for designers. You can go, if there are a variety of designs there, mobile UIs, web UIs, all of those things are there. And we have Mobbins. So Mobbins is where you get to see real life or no, existing websites. So on Mobbins, you can see the flows for different websites, their card components, modal components, all of those things that were used in the design. So those are websites you can go to. I'm going to drop it in the link after the class.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So we have indoor plant. So now what's the next thing? Okay, now so let's drop our cards, the cards that we created. Let's go to assets here. And type card. So this, like I said, all you need to do is click and drag. And that's it. Then we're going to put it here on our file. Dropping in here. So the thing is, on this design that we're replicating, they made use of a stroke. So we're going to make the adjustments to the card here. So now when we make adjustments, we can push the adjustments or the corrections that we've made to the master component. So this is what we're going to add a stroke here. And use, let's say, this button color. So what we're going to do now is we right click and then we push changes to the main component. So what's the name of? We have USSD $12.99 a month. You could create a string as well, where it's going to be easy for you to change the text within your components. But like I said, that's like too advanced, so we're going to do it manually. Montera USD. $4.99. So we already have card 1 here. Do the same thing, duplicate. So all we need to do is change our images, the swap instance that we created earlier. Change the image. Change this image here. You could just name it anything. Let's just name it creating day plan. Selling it for 64. And we have a very nice and unique name. Orok plants. Orok plants, and going for, was it unique? 122. $69. So we already have our cards. So you see all of that wahala that we went through, creating our style guide. See how easy it is for us to just go about the design like it's nothing. Like it's very easy. We've done all the hard work earlier. So now we have this guy. How did he achieve this? Okay, pretty simple. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a rectangle here, right about here. One 88244. Okay. Well, that is done. So we're going to just paste it here. Good. So we're going to add stroke. We'll add a stroke here. It's going to be the secondary color. Yeah, was it? Okay, I think it's white, nothing. Okay, it's white. So the stroke should be, let's say 4, around 4. Okay, now this is interesting. So basically it is within a frame. So I'm going to duplicate this, or create a frame rather, because we have contents that we're working with. So it's going to be hero image. Let me just say small hero image. So now we're going to put our rectangle within the frame that we just made. So now we can extend the frame further. like this. I'm going to copy it and paste it on here. Replace it with this. So we're going to add, yeah, I think we're close to. So it says offers pet-friendly plants. Okay. We have one. So I think we're going to work with 2. Let's go with 4. Yeah, I think this is okay. So we're going to type offers pet friendly plants. Okay. It seems like the offers is what they want the user to focus on. Text hierarchy is very important. With text hierarchy, you can control how the user navigates through the website. So now we have offers here is, I think what we're going to do, we just make it bold. Yeah, I think that's good. And reduce the opacity of this guy here. Let's make it 6. So we have the offers pet-friendly plants. I think I would have to reduce this guy here. It's too big. So we're going to have to create another text file. We're going to name it body text 3. Body text /3. Oh, body text /3 medium. So that's with the image there. So what do we need to add to our design? Interesting. I think the image we have is not going to make it possible for us to do this. So I think what we have is fine. And then let's go and search. Let me look for a 3D image, graphic image that would suit or represent this. The best places to buy plants online for 2022. Okay. I should have made this a frame. Let me just make it a frame. We have 445138. 445138. So we're going to pick the color again, color picker. Like I said, just click I or press I on your keyboard You get the color. So Control C. What did they write here again? See, the best places to buy plants online for 2022. Okay. Best places. Buy plants online for 2025. Okay, the best places. Okay. Let's see. So let us look for, let me go and look for, let me look for the graphic, the image to work with. I'm going to be adding that to our design. Let me share my screen so you guys can see what website I am getting the image from. Yeah, so can you guys see my screen? So we're going to free pick. So on here, you can, any image, whatever image you're looking for, you can get it here. 3D plant.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm trying to kind of. Yeah, so can you guys see my screen?
No, ma.
Okay. So we're trying to look for our almighty 3D image on free pick. So yeah, so we're looking for 3D, a 3D plant. I could actually design one, but then it's going to take our time. So let's just taking forever. So okay, I think this one is cute. No, not in Figma. It's using Spline. But I think you can do anything in Figma. Yes, you can do 3D stuff with Figma. You can do animations in Figma. Figma is one hell of a powerful software, powerful tool. Okay, let's go with this one. Let's hope it fits our design. So we're going to download a small one. I think small is better. And yes, we would have to remove the background of the plant because it's supposed to be standalone. It's a standalone object within the design. Okay, yeah, downloaded. So I'm going to, what I normally use remove AI to remove background of images. I'm going to remove it now. Okay, I think this thing is taking too long to load. It's exhausting at this point. So can you guys still see my screen, please?
No, ma.
Interesting. Okay. So this image, wow, we cannot work with this image. It's not working. So we have to look for another image here. Yeah, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, ma.
Okay. So now I have downloaded the image. We're going to add it to our design now. I'm going to add a rectangle and import our image from computer. So yeah, this is it. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Oh, okay. So that's that. We've added a mini 3D image there. It's not entirely given. I will change it, but for the sake of time, let's just work with that. I'm going to increase the size. Yeah, I think that's okay. So now to the bottom, we have a subtext here. We have the home ideas, gardening, so we're going to do that. If best places to put it. Okay. First, all right. So you can see that we have a problem. I'm typing, but it looks like I'm not typing. So what you do is you go to the left-hand side of your panel because the text is beneath the image. So all you need to do is just drag it to the top and then voila, just appears. And if best places buy plants online, then we have the main text that says home ideas, gardening and outdoors. And outdoors. Home ideas, gardening, and outdoors. Okay. Okay. Currently, this is going to increase the boldness of this one. We're going to make it bold, yeah, or extra bold. Extra bold is fine. So yeah, that's that. This frame here is not named. I wonder what frame that is. Okay. Native text. Here is this rectangle here is an image. Then we have this here as the background. So now what's left? Let's look at the placement. So let's see. Our placement is not on point according to the design. So let's fix that. Yeah, I think we're good now. It's better. So now this guys here would be bringing them here. So this text here is slightly beneath the letter, the alphabet P. Right, that's a problem. Yeah, perfect. Good. So that's sorted. So now the next one, the next section is these little guys here. So this is pretty simple, just a couple of text, colors, and images. So we're going to create a frame where all of this card text and these images will be placed in. So, and I just noticed something. So I remember we worked the grid system of how many of 100 or 80. I think it's 100 or so. Okay, 80. So I can already see a problem. We'll fix that later. Let's just get this over with. So we've created our frame. So we're going to name this here. We're going to name it contents. Yeah, this image, this one is not named, so it's image. Let's just say, instead of content, let's just say container. It's a container, it's carrying a couple of informations. So that's fine. So we have about nine pretty rectangles. So let's do this. The thing is, we could work with a grid for this card. Is needed as well. It's needed, you have to do that, but then let's just go ahead and finish up. Oh, you know what, let's just do it. For the sake of being professional. So I'm going to add layout grid for the card. So the thing is, okay, now the thing is, you cannot apply a grid system to a plain shape like rectangles, squares, and all that. So it has to be within a frame. You have to create a frame to be able to use a grid system. So now let's just do that now. Container. Container. going to let's work with a spacing of we have how many cards? Let's see. 6. 16. Margin of 8. So that's what we're working with. So we have how many cards? So let's do it. So we're going to duplicate this. Then duplicate it again. Then we just do the same thing. Just drag, click on the Alt key, and do the same thing. So now I think the circle, the square shape is too big. So let's just adjust it a bit. One. Let's turn this off. Then we're done. Paste it on here and so those circles that you're seeing there, those mini pink circles that you're seeing there, is for swap how like interchanging. Now let's interchange this guys. So you get to see it, but let me change the colors or something. So we'll do that. So we have black here. We have our secondary color here. Secondary color here. I think I'll just remove the margin. Don't think. So we're going to arm the colors there. Okay, we have white. Yeah, I think that's it. So now shift this here to the end and this one here to the end. This one right here. And drag this here to the bottom. So now we have we're going to add our images. Like I said, we're using Unsplash to generate images here. Yeah, and that's it. So let's see the text. So we're going to add our text. It says our top picks. So we're going to add our icon, arrow icon. We're going to make use of iconify. Let's add a bit of weight to the text here. So we're going to detach this because it doesn't have the properties that we need for that text there. We're going to use the plugin Iconify. And get our arrow icon. And also you can create an arrow using Figma. All you need to do is just press Shift L and you have your arrow generated on the file. We're going to put it in our container. Change the rotation 90. 180 minus 90. And so what do we have left? What text is written there? Points to buy points. One. So we have that here. So we're just going to duplicate the text, put it here. And so that's with having to create high fidelity designs. And I think we did a good job replicating the design. Yeah. It's almost like, so let's see what it looks like. Yeah, this is our awesome design we've done so far. So that's about creating high fidelity designs. If there's any question, please just let me know. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, so I'll address them now, or you could just drop them in the group later. So any questions now?
Yeah, I have one question though.
Yeah, what's it?
Okay, when you were making those like changeable images, like those images where like you click on it and then you change them, is it possible that you create like a component set instead? I mean, so that like you can just make each image a variant, then you just change it from there. Like, can it still work that way?
Honestly, I don't think so, because sometimes I confuse the entire process. I think there is how it works. So what you're supposed to do is you ensure that the images you want to swap within the components, they are like major components on their own. So when you create the card, so all you need to do is, so that image, you're pasting the image within the card, and then you can easily swap those instances to those components or those images that you created as components earlier. So you have to create those images as master components on their own. They can be variants. It won't be easy for you to swap them within whatever card, within whatever components that you're working with. So you need to ensure that those images, like I said, are components on their own. So it's easy for you to create the swap instance.
All right, thank you. Thanks so much.
Any other question? Okay, I'll take it as there's no question. So if any question arises, just drop it in the group, or you can just send me a DM. I'm going to address it. So sorry?
I have a question. Sorry, I joined late, but I saw something that I needed to ask. So,
Yeah, sure. What's it?
must you make a frame before you put, like, must every design be in a frame?
Must every what? The design?
Yeah, like you have to put a frame before you put them in it.
Um, More like if you know you're going to have content within the frame, yes, you need to work with that. You need to work with the frame.
Like if there is a text on it, there should be a frame.
Sorry?
If there is a text on it, there should be a frame for it.
Uh, Not necessarily. Okay, how do I explain this thing so you understand? So frames are very important in Figma. Like they're like they act like containers. So especially when you need to like group certain things together. Like now the card that we have a button, we have a text, we have images. So it's needed for you to create a frame. A frame is it defines the boundaries. I don't know how to explain it. So if
Okay.
it's when it comes to text, you can't put a text within a frame. But if you're making that text a component, then automatically Figma is going to it's going to put the text within a frame. But
Okay.
normally, what frames are for? They're just containers. They act like
Okay.
containers for you to group related things together, things that have something in common.
And I noticed on the left side, you basically named everything. Is it like compulsory? Like,
Yes, naming, it's important for you to name every frame, every text, every component that you're working with in Figma. It not only shows that you're professional, it also shows that you're an organized designer and you're also very considerate. By considerate, I mean, obviously, you're not the only one going to that is going to work on the design. We have developers. So you having to name those things shows that it shows your collaborative side, also shows that you're professional, also shows that you're organized and structured. And lastly, it's going to be easy for you to like edit some of these text or whatever frames that you have within the design. So it's very important that you have a naming structure.
okay. What if you run out of like
Right.
what to name? I mean, what if you run out of something to name it, like, or should you just come up with anything just to name it? Because I don't know.
Sorry, you're breaking.
I said, what if you run out of something to like name a particular component, or should you like name it anything?
So you're saying, can you name it anything? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because most times you might, like run out of something to like name a certain thing because there's many of them. So
Oh, okay. So okay, I understand. You're saying, what if you run out of names to name names for or to
yeah, like
forgive me for. Okay,
yeah,
so the thing is, it actually happens all the time, especially when you're building big design systems. So you just make sure that you keep it as simple as possible. Like you break your naming into sections. So, like I said, when I was designing the style guide, I made sure that I just kept it simple, like primary, secondary, or let's just say if you're naming a card, you could just name it card 1, card 2, or maybe you have like an informative text. You say information 1, information 2. So you keep it very simple and direct. Like you don't need to be extra about the entire thing. Just keep it simple.
okay, yeah, thank you.
Any other question?
Not really. I will kind of watch the video to start afresh because I'm confused in most of the things. So anyways,
When did you join?
like 30 minutes ago.
Sorry, I have to watch the video again. I would have gone back if it was just like a recent, so if it was earlier than that. So yeah,
Yeah,
just watch the video.
yeah. But the only thing, the only places I've kind of I've had problem from day one is those component stuff, like most of the things on the right side of the tools, like the other side. So most of the grouping of
What
those.
side? I'm referring to the right side of the nav or left side of the nav.
My right, that should be your, I don't know.
This guy's here, this one.
Yeah, yes. Most of like, especially the component, there's one other one because I don't know, like I have to yeah, especially this particular one. maybe I don't know. I'll just read more about it, but I'm still yet to understand it. Like I don't know.
Okay, let me just quickly go over the basics for you. So it's going to be much easier for you to like do it. So now let's work with creating a button component. So let's work with this guy here. I'm going to duplicate this guy and detach it from the main component. So we start afresh. So now, the first thing you do when creating a button component, you start with your text and then you add your auto layout. So now our padding, left and vertical padding is needed so that the text within the frame is contained. So now we're going to add color to it. This is our button color. So now that is that for, we already have our button. So what do we do now? This is the component icon here. Just click this and you're ready. You have your component. So now we have what we call what do you call this thing? I'm trying to remember the name. We have the variants and we have instances. So now what is a variant? Components and instances. So my understanding of what variant is, so an instance is a copy of a component used in design. That's what an instance is. Why variants are usually used so that you can create multiple variations of the master component. So now an instance of this is what a variant, an instance is. So we have like this guy here is our master component. And these are like the instances within it. So if we duplicate this guy now, this is going to be our variant. And with this variant now, we can create different states or variations of this button. Do you understand, or should I go over it again?
Yeah, I think, yeah, I understand anyway.
Yeah, like I said, instances are copies of master components used within a design. Do you understand? Why variants are, you can use them to create different states or attributes of the master components.
Okay.
Yes. So now, these guys here are variants. Sorry, hold on. These guys here now, they are variants. This is our hover state. This is our disabled state. Click on this, you create more variants. While instances, let me. Well, this is an instance. This is a copy of the master components. Do you understand?
Yeah.
These are variants because, yes, good. Okay, that's fine. So any other questions? So just go over the design and you understand it better. And you can watch more tutorial videos on how to go about understanding variants and components.
All right.
Any other question?
No.
Yes, please. I have a question.
Sure. What's the question?
Okay. So if I see somebody's design elsewhere, just like we've replicated this design, how do I create my own style? Is it style design or what do you call it? I know for
Style
color,
guide.
yes, style guide. I know for the colors we use the color picker, but how about for the images? And I want to get like the exact image the person has used.
Sorry, can you come again? I didn't get the question. Can you rephrase?
Can you hear me now?
I know I can actually hear you, but then I need you to like rephrase the question.
Okay, so I'm saying that if I see somebody's design, already made design elsewhere,
Yeah.
and I want to do the exact thing that the person has designed.
Yeah.
So for this one that you did for us now, you picture on Figma, and we created the style guide.
Yeah.
I'm saying that I know how to get the colors. That's using the color picker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm asking that, how about for the images? How do I get the exact image that the person has used?
Oh, okay. So the thing is, when you're replicating a design, you don't have to cross your T's and dot your I's. When you need to cross your T's and dot your I's is when it comes to the alignment, placement of text and images. But then you can't get the exact image that was used in the design. You just want to give yourself a headache. So just look for something that is closely related to the image that was used. Like this image you're seeing on the hero section now, the idea or the message is conveying is, oh, this is a plant. So you have to look for something that has this greenery to it and use it for the design you want to replicate.
Okay, so is that the same for the style too? The font style?
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Oh.
Or you can choose to go extra on that. It depends on what you want to achieve.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you today your hands are up.
I just asked now.
Oh, yeah, do you want? Oh, okay, sorry. All right, any other question?
Yeah, so I'm sorry, you said I thought about reaching out to you in case we have any question later on. Like, how do we know your number on the group?
You just, okay, you know what, I'm going to drop a resource, some of the resources you can use for design. So just click on it and you see message directly to so and so, to Chidima Otolani.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's fine. Any other question?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
is it
proceed.
possible? I mean, when you, let's say, I don't know, is it possible? Like she asked a question before, and I want to ask something similar. Is it possible to copy a design one-to-one with Figma? Like, pull components from the actual picture. Let's say you have a picture, you import it to your Figma. Can you like copy components from it one-to-one? Like,
Sorry, I don't understand. Copy components. How? In what sense?
like
Can you repeat?
let's say I have a design of a mobile app or a web app, and I want to copy everything from it. Is it possible to copy it out from that particular image, or I have to like look for it and design something similar to it?
Okay, to answer that question, I would say, like, now, let me work with what I did. So the major thing you need to factor in when replicating a design is to highlight the major things that would define the design itself, which is the color, which is the text, and which is the images. So once you all have all of those things clearly sorted out, so what you'll be looking at, once you've done that, if that's like the first phase, the second phase is to look at the structure of the design you want to replicate. So now we've seen the structure of this design you want to replicate. We've seen what the hero section is like. So you do the same, you try to replicate what's this that you're seeing on the design or the hero section or the landing page it is that you want to work on. So like I said, highlights the major things that matter in design, which is the text, the colors, the images, and nonetheless, don't forget the what do you call these things? Spacing and the alignment, all of those things you should factor it in. And secondly, what's the second one I mentioned? I think the second one is going to be the structure, the design layout of the design you want to replicate. Once you have all that, you're good to go. Any other question?
No.
Okay. So that will be the end of today's class. Nice doing business with everyone. See you next time. Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.